5-1, it's coming up.
Go.
Hang on. All right. Okay, now we can move. Okay, no. This is our celebration of mom. So we have it available, and I wanted to do, you know, my relation, my mother is my best friend in the entire world, and we've had a tough year in our family this year, and I wanted to do something so special for Mother's Day, and that's what we're offering to you here. So your choice of the flower or the heart. And tell us a little bit about these beautiful designs, Anthony.
Well, you know, in the last 25 years, we've seen tremendous improvements in the industry. And what you're seeing there are little spinels actually set right into the casting. And that process is done not in the metal, but actually in the wax. So you can have someone who is not a setter set stones like this. And why that's so important is because years ago, I used to get 75 cents per stone to set. So we would never, ever in a million years be able to offer something like this. I don't know exactly how many stones, but I'll give it a quick count for you.
And just the simulated diamonds, like they're saying almost like 80, over 3/4 of a carat in the look there. But take a look at that size on the necklace. It's 1 1/16 in length. It's 1 inch side to side. So we have either the flower heart that you're seeing there, or we have the hearts with the mom written out inside. Think about this too as a beautiful charm, but there's a great close-up. So you really can appreciate the artistry work here. $39.95, it's a 90-second special or sell out. We were only able to bring in about 150 of each, that's it. I mean, to get this in silver, lifetime warranty, so beautifully done. And then look at the heart intertwined with, you know, your child's heart or your, you know, your mother and mother together. I mean, and then the overall larger heart and the fabulous, you can really see mom too.
Also look at the bail. Okay, because fine jewelry is perfectly proportioned. There are probably about 70 stones per, so it's at least 3/4 of a carat.
You bet.
Now, when you look at it, the average person wouldn't know if this is diamonds and white gold.
In a million years.
Or silver. No, even a jeweler has to like carefully look at it, but take it off your neck and look at it with a loop. So this is another phenomenal value. You would never, ever see something like this.
In a million years.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. All right,
we're
going to scoot along because I'm telling you, that's how limited we are and how busy.